These videos are set to show a North Korean defector's journey across multiple borders. Shin Ju-ye's face
라오스야, 잘 있어라.
and others have been blurred to protect their identities. She described an escape that took her through Vietnam, Laos, and Thailand. Reuters could not independently verify it. She first fled North Korea in the 1990s, settling in China. But during the pandemic, Shin said village officials began ordering North Koreans to register their biometric information with police.
Those who had registered their fingerprints told me, "Sister, it was great that we could get the vaccines and get tested for COVID-19, but there's one big disadvantage. Now it's like we're in a fishing net. If North Korea tells China to catch and send us, we will be all sent back together."
Shin did not register and instead hatched a plan to leave China. She arrived in South Korea in 2023. Her account, which Reuters could not independently verify, comes amid a push for broader surveillance of North Korean defectors in China that is ultimately making it harder for them to evade capture. This is the border between North Korea and China, a frontier that is about 870 miles long. Reuters reviewed more than 100 publicly available government documents that outline spending on border surveillance and infrastructure. They reveal that China has implemented new deportation centers, hundreds of smart facial recognition cameras, and extra boat patrols. And border police in China's northeast have been given quotas to identify and expel undocumented migrants. That's according to previously undisclosed official documents and a dozen people familiar with the matter. The documents don't explicitly say North Koreans are the targets, but the measures in the documents focus on areas that border North Korea. Reuters found little evidence of similar actions at China's other borders, except its porous frontier with Myanmar, where China has been tackling organized crime and recently opened a deportation center. The authorities for China's border police and immigration agency did not respond to Reuters' questions. The foreign ministry said China protected, quote, "the rights and interests of foreigners in China while lawfully maintaining the order of border entries and exits," and suggested Reuters' reporting was, quote, "completely not factual," but did not describe which findings or elements it deemed incorrect. Ethan Hisok Shin is a legal analyst with a group in Seoul that monitors deportations, called the Transitional Justice Working Group, or TJWG.
The Chinese government's official policy is that all North Korean escapees in their country are illegal economic migrants and not refugees or asylum seekers, which should be protected under international law.
The group's executive director says China returned at least 60 North Koreans in April.
Based on the interviews that TJWG has conducted, we estimate that roughly 7 out of 10 escapees who try to make their way out of the country are arrested and repatriated back to North Korea by the Chinese authorities.
Multiple people told Reuters that cracking down on unauthorized migration is not just about ensuring stability on China's periphery. One human rights specialist said Beijing is worried that if too many North Koreans find refuge in China, it could in time destabilize the North, spark reunification under the South, and ultimately hand the United States extra influence on the peninsula. At the same time, the defectors also give China leverage over the North, which has been getting increasingly close to Russia. Lee Dong-gyu is a China expert at the Asan Institute for Policy Studies.
Since China is controlling defectors from North Korea in such a manner, China can demand something from North Korea that is beneficial to China.
North Korea's embassy in Beijing and its UN missions in Geneva and New York did not respond to questions from Reuters. In a statement, South Korea's foreign ministry said Seoul is making, quote, all-out efforts to prevent China from forcibly repatriating North Korean defectors.